Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea. Hope everyone's had a wicked Christmas and looking forward to New Year's. It's been a pretty intense year. It feels good to wrap it up and I'm really excited about 2015, so I hope you guys are as well. This is a bit of a different video, not actually going to be playing any guitar, which is a shame, but it's quite an important video. It's another one of my kind of like opinion videos or a bit of advice or that kind of thing. I just wanted to talk to you about the importance of good headphones and why you should invest in decent quality headphones if you want to be a musician, whether that's producing, sound engineering, or you're just an audiophile. In case anyone doesn't know what that means, it's someone that's really into high quality music in terms of the sound. For the last kind of five years I've been getting more and more into production and engineering. Some of you might know that I do all the sound for the Andertons videos. My job is to mic up the cabs and monitor the quality of the guitar recordings and the speech. So it's quite involved and it takes a lot of work to get to a point where you're confident enough to be put in front of any amplifier with a set of microphones and get to sound good, especially through laptop speakers and phones, and that's quite a challenge. One of the things that really helps me with that is good quality headphones, because at the end of the day, when you've got people playing through cranked valve amps and you've got to hear to make sure it sounds good, you need headphones to get rid of that ambience so that you can hear exactly what the microphone's picking up. So you need a good quality pair of headphones that you can drive pretty hard, that give you a clear representation of what the microphone is hearing, and that's really important. So there are many different companies that make headphones, many different manufacturers, some more popular than others, some are up and coming, and some are hard to find but really worth the time taken to find them. So what I use at the minute for my audio engineering are the Sennheiser, and they are the HD 380 Pros. Now, they come in a nice little box like this. And the thing is, you find that when you spend more money, the presentation gets better, and you get what you pay for. So what's nice about these is they come in a nice kind of hard case kind of thing, and inside you've got your cans. Now these are closed back cans. There are different types of headphones: closed back, open back, in ear, on ear, noise cancelling, all that kind of stuff. And it really depends what it is you need them to do. So for me, for audio monitoring, at the minute I'm using these. These are really nice. You can drive them pretty hard, they've got good sound, they're not coloured. Now in case you're wondering what coloured means, the difference between coloured and uncoloured speakers, headphones, is that coloured means that kind of hi-fi sound, like Bose for instance. Bose speakers are fantastic sounding speakers. And that's because they've been coloured to perfection, so when you put any music on, it's going to sound beautiful. Most hi-fi speakers are the same. Anything like that just sounds... Any coloured speaker is usually tuned so that it picks up the nice bass frequencies, the nice mid frequencies and high frequencies, so that everything sounds nice to the ear, whatever you put on. And then it's simply a case of adding more or less bass, treble, that kind of thing. So yeah, uncoloured means it's flat response. So you don't have any peaks in low end, mid range or high end. So everything's flat, which means what you hear is how it's meant to sound. So for me and Dave especially, I listen to all my music with flat EQ because I don't want the EQ to hide any imperfections in the mix or colour any of the imperfections in the mix or anything like that. So it's the same with headphones. Headphones come in coloured and uncoloured, or flat response, whatever you want to call it, same as speakers. So these Sennheisers are uncoloured headphones, which means that I can hear exactly what the microphone's picking up. So if I've got loads of bass, I know it's because there's too much bass being picked up through the microphone and not because the headphones are inherently bassy. Every pair of headphones is different. Some sound nicer to your ears than others. For me, these are a little bit harsh in the high mid-range. So I always have to be mindful of that, especially when I'm mixing guitars, because guitars are inherently that high-mid area in the frequency spectrum. But they're good enough and they work. These are about, I think it's about 180 quid, could be wrong. but they have the detachable wire, so you can replace that, which is nice because sometimes you tear wires and it's never good and they fray and break, so that's nice. And also they pop in and out for easy use of storage, and obviously they can extend, which is really nice. So yeah, I recommend those, they're pretty cool, and also they're well presented in a nice box. So they're closed back. Now you get open back headphones as well, and what they're used for is, in my opinion, for mixing detailed music. So I've got a pair here of Grado SR80i headphones. Now Grados are renowned for high quality sound. A lot of audiophiles like them, and a lot of people that mix like them, because they're open back, which means that if you were playing music through these and someone was sat next to you on the train, he'd probably tell you to turn it down because he could hear every single detail of the music, because there's nothing stopping the sound coming out of the back of the headphone. Like on the Sennheisers, you can see it's solid plastic, whereas on these it's just perforated, so you can actually just hear whatever's going on. But the benefits of that is that you really don't get any, you know, like frequencies that don't want to be heard. In essence, these are just flat response, really high quality, transparent headphones. So for mixing, they're just a really useful tool. Ideally you want to mix through studio monitors, but if you're using headphones, I'd recommend these for really detailed mixing, because you're not going to get any over exaggerated frequencies. So what you hear is what you get. And normally if you mix on these and then put it on a system, you'll find that it probably sounds pretty accurate and pretty similar to how you heard it in here. So although I wouldn't recommend these for general listening when you're out and about, because not only can people hear you, you can hear them. So if you're in a busy city walking through trying to listen to your music, you're not going to be able to hear it that well because you'll hear everything else going on around you. So these are literally for audiophiles in a quiet environment, used for mixing or purely for the enjoyment of high quality sound. So the next pair of cans I wanted to look at were a new company that approached me, and they sent through some headphones for me to try out. And these kind of bridge the gap between sort of that hi-fi sound and that sort of audiophile studio sound, which is quite nice, because I would recommend having a couple of different sets of headphones, especially if you're wanting to get into mixing and engineering, because it's always good to reference your mix or something, whether it's getting live sound or producing a band. I'd always recommend using different sets of headphones to make sure that it's not your ears that are biased to a certain sound, it's actually the different headphones, so you get a good indication of what the actual mix sounds like. So this company here, Meze, and I think it's Meza or Meze, which is M-E-Z-E, and Meza for me is sort of Lebanese tapas or Arabic tapas. I want to call it that, just little dishes of nice food. But anyway, they're really cool. They're made from wood. Now, not the whole thing, but the can itself is made from wood, ebony in this case, which is a really high quality wood. As you know, we use it for guitars. But what's nice about these are, like I said, they're not super coloured, but they're just tastefully coloured in areas. And what's nice about this is on the back of the box, I don't know if you can see, even if it's out of focus, but right here is the frequency response for these headphones. So what's nice is you can see they've got a reasonably controlled low end, and also gives you all the tech specs written here. But what's nice is around, what's that? So they've got a slight dip around 500 Hz, which is your mid-range, which is common in coloured headphones. And then a dip right at the top around 20k, which is where it gets really, I mean, like, you struggle to hear the high frequencies around there. But sort of 10.5, you want it to stay reasonably flat, which they've done here. So the main frequencies that you want to be flat response are, so around sort of 5k is flat, just about 10k is flat, and around 100 Hz, 200 is flat, which is great. So I'm not going to go into too much detail on frequencies, but 100 Hz is your rumbly bass frequency. So if everything sounds really rumbly, pull 100 Hz down, it should clean it up nicely. 200 is where you're going to get that punch, but it's also going to give you the boxiness. So if everything sounds a little bit boxy, especially guitars, dip 200 Hz and you should find that it clears up again. And then 500 is your mid-range, so if you want to scoop that a little bit, it's usually good on a general mix. And 5 and 10K is the kind of high mids to really high end, especially 10K. And in guitars, that's where you're going to get all the nuisance frequencies. I call them nuisance frequencies because when you listen to guitar on its own and you're sat there and it sounds just a little bit like there's this irritating fizziness coming from somewhere, check 5, 10K on your EQ and pull it down and you should find that it sounds a little bit better. Or in turn, you know, just chuck it up if it's not quite the sound you want. It usually gives you a bit more bite. Anyway, back to the headphones. So these headphones are, as I said, a little bit coloured, but they've been done right so that when you're listening to music, all the frequencies you want to be clear and transparent are. Comes in a nice box, and inside we've got a few stickers, which is great, and they're foam protected, foam lined on the inside, which is nice, with the stickers in there. And what's really cool is the headphones themselves come without the wires attached, which is really cool, which means that they give you detachable left and right cables, and that's really good in case you're tripping up or you get entangled or whatever. You can take them apart and sort them out. But they're quite small. These are kind of, I would consider these on ears, mainly because I got big ears, but they sit nicely on your ear, and they're nice and comfortable. So as you can see, nice bit of ebony there. It's a little bit out of focus, but yeah, nice bit of ebony. Gold-plated inputs, which is nice, and nice rugged design, sleek, so they don't look stupid on your head if you're walking around. Because again, these are closed back, so you could use these out and about. They feel nice and sturdy. So yeah, what else is in the box? We've got two different cables, one of which is a hands-free kit, which is useful, and the other one is just a straight up left and right jack in, which is awesome. I think it does make a bit of difference them being made out of wood. It's a little bit warmer. Plastic obviously is, the sound reflections off the wood is better in my opinion than plastic. And a lot of companies have started to do that now, and it's quite interesting because, you know, we use wood for guitars, drums and basses and violins and all sorts of instruments, so why not use them for headphones if that's what we're using to listen to our music? A little bit more expensive, but you know, it's probably not a bad thing as long as it's obviously certified wood. But yeah, so what I said was nice about these is they're kind of a halfway house between, you know, audio production headphones and then audiophile, just nice quality headphones. And I would definitely reference my mixes on a pair of headphones like this, because they're not too biased into the world of hi-fi or into the world of production. So you do get a reasonably transparent reference there. What's nice about this company is they do in-ears and on-ears. So as you can see here, we've got the on-ear headphones, but they do in-ears. It's a really nice little pouch it comes in, foam wrap, you can see inside. And I've been using these whilst I've been travelling on the trains and stuff, and they're really good. These are full-on hi-fi headphones, so these are good for just listening to music and enjoying it. They've got good bass response, not over the top, but also nice and clear in the high end. And they've got a little volume clicker thing as well, which is cool. Now the price of these it ranges. I mean, these are about, I think these are about 60 quid, something like that, and then the on-ears are a little bit more pricey, sort of in the 100 plus range. But it's worth it if you care about the quality of the music that you listen to. If you're not bothered, then use a pair of hi-fi iPod headphones or whatever. But if you care about how good your music sounds, like I do, I'm willing to go and buy different pairs. The Meze headphones are fantastic because you can definitely mix on these, but also you can enjoy good quality music on these and good quality mixes. They're a halfway house, and as I said before, it's because the frequencies that you want to be flat, or at least at unity, are at unity with these headphones. They're made from wood and they're really good quality, gold plated, inputs and jacks in, detachable, all that stuff. And they're a new and up and coming company, so it's worth, you know, supporting them and getting involved. And I'm not just saying these headphones are great because they sent me a pair to try out. You know, if I don't like a product, I'll tell you that I don't like it. But I'm a real big geek when it comes to sound quality. So if a pair of headphones sounds crap, then I'm not going to use them. You pay more money, but the quality is way better. So as I say, they're a new company, but I'd definitely check them out, see what you think. So yeah, the other kind of in-ears you can get that I've been using are the Marley ones, the Bob Marley ones. Obviously, I don't suppose he had any input whatsoever on the quality of his headphones. But yeah, these are made from mahogany, which is nice. And these are really good, but they're super bassy. So if you listen to dub, ska, reggae, drum and bass, dubstep, hip hop, these are fantastic for that. But for rock and metal and anything else, a little bit hard to get the clarity that you need, especially for the kind of music I listen to. But they're about 15 quid, so obviously they're not like super high end at all, but not bad. Everyone likes these Dr. Dre Beats headphones, and there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, but they are super hi-fi headphones. They're fantastic for listening to hip hop and drum and bass and dubstep and anything electronic, because that's the origin of the product. You know, it's come from Dr. Dre's. It's all about hip hop and beats and that kind of thing. There's nothing wrong with them. Not saying that, but if you're a rock musician or you play instruments and you're mixing music that involves instruments, I wouldn't suggest it, just because the bass response is just far too much. However, I've got a friend who mixes dubstep and drum and bass and all that kind of stuff, and he loves them because the amount of bass that they give him really helps him. So it's each to their own, but as I said, explore different quality headphones and see what works for you. But the point of this video is that you should definitely spend some time and a nice bit of money on a good pair of headphones if you care about being able to mix, or you care about how good it sounds. Anyway, I've been Bea. Have an epic new year, and you'll hear more from me very soon on the Dorje front. And if anyone's going to the NAMM show, I should be there with Panama guitars, so come and say hi, and I'll see you soon.